So this is just a short follow-up to the video I made last week about my question regarding African Americans and rioting in the streets, the idea of it, what's behind it, the justification of it, and just a few things before I get started. The first is that there were a lot of people that went and called either my question or myself racist and attacked me for it. There were some people who actually came after me with the whole white guilt or white privilege issue, which is ironic and funny because I'm not white. My parents came from Egypt about 50, 60 years ago, and I'm Muslim. I myself have faced discrimination. I've had people talk to me that either personally and also that I've witnessed, people telling me things like go back to your country or attack my faith and different things like that. So I'm going to put aside the white guilt, white privilege thing. As far as going after the whole idea of me even talking about it in the first place, two things on that. The first is, it's weird that almost every single person that had a problem with me approaching this was not African American. The second thing is, I will do my best to continue refining the way that I talk about issues and learning about issues and approaching different people, but I will not apologize for asking questions that are on my mind and trying to understand. Actually, one more side comment is that I don't care for anyone that tries to approach me about this and assuming or accusing me that it's not in good faith. I don't have time for that. It is genuine. You believe me, you don't believe me, that's really on you. I will talk with anyone, no matter how much we disagree or even if you have a problem with what I'm saying. But I'm gonna talk about these issues and you're welcome to participate if you want. Now, the quick follow-up, and I'm gonna do a longer video about this later that I'll put up on my YouTube channel, but the short version is I was trying to understand why African Americans, and this is just a summary of my previous video, why African Americans during riots will burn down or destroy parts of cities or police cars or whatever it is, even if the businesses are owned by African Americans. And over the last week, I've had a chance to talk to people either through the comments, through one-on-one messages, and phone calls that have lasted for well over an hour to get a better understanding. And a lot of African Americans have been open to talking about this. And I'm just going to share a few things that I've learned for anyone that's interested in kind of seeing the benefits of talking. Because, you know, in my personal life, professionally, I'm a project manager. And one of the things that we do as project managers is we try to assess risk. And in assessing risk, there's a few different factors. One of them is when you're working on a project and looking at the risks, you look at the risks that you know of and you're aware of. You also try to make sure that you incorporate, based on historical data, what things you don't know that you don't know. And then there are other issues of things that you know could be a risk, but that you don't have a full understanding of it. So in this case, I know that there are riots, but I don't know the whys behind it. I don't know the context that I don't know. So that was the intention of releasing the video. Now, some of the things that I learned, one of the responses in the comment section was that African Americans sometimes, what it is the things that are being destroyed, while some understandings of it, the way that to be honest, the way that I was looking at it when I put up the video is that you're destroying African American owned businesses. And the comment was that a lot of times African Americans don't feel like they own anything. And while some people are looking at this as you're destroying African American businesses, there are others from the African American community that don't see it as these are African American businesses. And right now, I'm not talking about judging or understanding, I'm talking about what I have learned. So that was one thing. Another person mentioned to me, and this was during one of the phone calls, and I'm not mentioning any names, I didn't take their permission, was that one of the reasons there's these types of violence or types of riots that occur is because there is a damage when there are not a dual parent household. So when there is a mother, there is a father, or the lack of one of them, it has detrimental effects. And so one of the examples that this person was giving me is that oftentimes the narrative is that African Americans have this issue where there's no two-parent households and the men just walk out, but it's a lot more complicated than that. And this person shared an example where they grew up and their mother, it was a single parent household. Their mother would receive aid from the government, and they would have inspectors that would come in every few weeks or so and make sure that there was no male living in the household. Otherwise, their benefits would be revoked. That's a great example of what I didn't know. So that's if there's truth to it, and you know, I've read some psychological studies about the impact of not having a two-parent household. Well, without having understood a little bit more of this context, it makes the issue go from something that seems clear to something that's a lot more complicated and has a lot of historical context that I wasn't aware of. Another person shared a different comment that, you know, with a lot of the lack of resources going into education in the inner cities, well, then a lack of education has a lot of consequences. But anyhow, I'll go into some of this when I make the longer video. But my point is, I am very happy that I did post the video asking a question. And I'm just going to keep doing that because I'm learning, and I hope it's possible that other people will also be able to expand their understanding of what we don't know. So that's really going to be important. And someone else shared a speech by Dr. King. I also went after this and watched some videos from one of the greatest people, not just in American history, but all of history, Malcolm X. And there's a lot that I've been learning, and I'm going to keep going on with this and keep learning and keep asking questions, keep trying to have conversations and see where it goes. But anyhow, this is just a quick follow-up to the previous video, letting you know some of the things that I discovered. And I hope that we can keep this conversation going, because a lot of times we take an issue, we discuss it one time, it's a hot button issue, and then we move on as if that's it. Topic discovered, topic discussed, and then we move on. So I'll talk to you later. This is Kareem from The New Politician, and I hope that we can keep it going. Take care.